Okay, so now we're going to talk about the quantity of food. Now people want to know generally how many calories do I need? Well, here's the thing. We don't want to go too low and deprive ourselves of the very reason why we eat food in the first place, which is to provide nutrients. Because if we don't consume enough calories, it's not going to have enough food to provide the nutrients, and then we'll start showing signs of deficiencies like, your teeth getting loose, your hair loss, fatigue, things like that. So the derivation of the root word for food comes from the word nourish or nutrients. Okay, so that's what that means. So that's what we're trying to go for, but we also eat food to get energy. But in our case, we're going to be using fat primarily for energy, not glucose for energy. It's a better fuel source. But of course, if you have extra stored fat on your body, which you might have, then we're going to basically use that as our fuel. We don't want to necessarily put too much calories in dietary fat, especially when you adapt, but maybe in the beginning. So then you could tap into the stored fat first, and then once you hit your goal, weight-wise, you can add more fat to maintain your weight so you don't keep losing. So that's what we want to do. Now, typically though, I'm going to give you some rough numbers for an average person, okay? And this is plus or minus. So let's say you're doing 3 meals, like 1,800 calories to 2,000 calories. So that would be kind of a rough average, okay? Now, again, it could be a lot more depending on your age, how young you are, how old you are, how fast your metabolism is, how much you weigh. Okay, let's say you go down to 2 meals. Well, you're not going to keep the same calories. You're going to go down a little bit to maybe, let's say, 1,500 calories, okay? And also we have examples of pictures, which you can click in the download to see what this means, so just to visualize it, okay? So again, these are just rough numbers. And then 1 meal, you're not going to do 1,800 calories. It would be a really big meal. Let's say you do 1,200 calories. Again, you're not going too low. You're not going too high because your stomach can't hold all that food. When you do intermittent fasting and lessen the frequency of meals, your stomach actually gets a little smaller, and so you can't eat as much food. But the cool thing is you don't need the nutrients you would need here are a lot less than here because your body is recycling these nutrients. It's recycling protein too. Now, when you eat, you have a perception of when you're full. Okay? You really want to be in the present to observe that perception because you don't want to end up too stuffed and create more stress in your digestive system. So typically, let's say you're hungry, you start eating, and you feel full, but you're not satisfied because you have insulin resistance, and the cells they're not absorbing the food yet 100% because it's still kind of blocked. But as you do this and you start adapting to fat burning, you'll start eating and you become more satisfied right away. So we have hunger, full but not satisfied, full, satisfied, and then you start getting stuffed. So you're just going to have to be very aware at this point to make sure you don't cross over here and you stay within this range right here because we want you full and satisfied. We don't want to eat a small meal where you're still a little hungry. You don't want to do that. Yet you don't want to do too much and bloat yourself. So this is kind of the sweet spot right here. All right, so I just wanted to kind of cover some basics about the quantity and again, not give you an absolute number because everyone's different. You have a lot of variables. You have the speed of metabolism, how old you are, how young you are, how much weight you want to lose. Those are all factors in looking at this, but I want to give you some general guidelines. All right, thanks for watching.